What's going on, maniacs? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, if you're new around here, I'm GoreCore. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to have another music reaction, and I must admit, against my better judgment, we are going to return to the band 6 Feet Under. We're going to check out their latest single entitled Unmistakable Smell of Death that comes off of their upcoming album, Next to Die, which is due out on April 24th. And these guys are based out of the States, and they play death metal. If you do watch this channel on the regular and you've seen reactions in the past, then you probably already know that I'm really not a big fan of this band. But I can't help but wonder what they put out. There's a part of me that's just curious, and I can't help but check this out despite probably not enjoying it. And of course, if by chance it's excellent, then I'm happy to say that. I have nothing against the band. I know I've kind of picked on them in the past a little bit, and especially Chris Barnes' vocals, and same thing, I have nothing against Chris Barnes. In fact, I watched a podcast with him a while back. I think it was the Gaza podcast, and frankly, he seemed like a nice, gentle old man. So I'm not here to pick on anybody, but I'm also not here to blow smoke up your ass and pretend I like something when I don't. I don't think Chris Barnes has been a good vocalist in a long time, and then while I'm not trying to trash on him at all, I respect him for what he brought to the scene. He was the original vocalist of Cannibal Corpse, and I very much enjoy early Cannibal Corpse. I'm not really a big fan of newer stuff. The Chris Barnes era is the stuff that I very much enjoy. So I understand what he brought to the scene and his importance, but at the same time, it gets to a point where maybe you should just phone it in or call it a day. But we're going to check this out. I will admit the last one I did was an improvement over the one before that, so maybe this one will kick ass. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, right? But before we get into this reaction, I do have a favor to ask of all of you. If by chance you're a fan of horror, I recently released my debut horror short film, The Treatment and the Cure. If you could take a few minutes out of your day to give that a watch, it would mean the world to me. I would like to pursue doing more filmmaking in the future, so the support of all of you would definitely help make that happen. And if by chance you do give it a watch, you know, if you could leave a like, a comment, share it with your friends and help spread the word, that would go a long way to helping us out. You'll find a link down in the description as well as right here. But let's get back into this reaction and see what new 6 Feet Under is all about. I mean, I would dare say this is an improvement. You can hear a little bit of a crack in his voice, but it's definitely an improvement. It sounds a bit more like him in older days. there we have it. That was 6 Feet Under with Unmistakable Smell of Death. And what can I say? This was actually okay. Now, it's not great. It's not groundbreaking. I don't feel like it's doing anything particularly new or like bringing anything particularly creative to the genre. But it wasn't terrible. I feel like Chris Burns' vocal timing on this was better. The tone of his vocals were definitely better. They were pretty deep and gravelly, which I enjoyed. And those typical silly high vocals that I make so much fun of, that you'll see people online all the time, they just put like E going across it because they're just kind of ridiculous, weren't present here. He did do a bit of a high vocal transition at 2 moments in this, and it did feel like there was a little bit of crackle in his voice, but at the same time, it wasn't awful and it wasn't laughable. It just feels like maybe, you know, with a little bit more time and practice, he might even get better. So I can't really laugh at this one at all, and I'm glad. Like, good for them, and that this is actually solid. And this is one of those bands that I've never been a huge fan of anyways. Their first album, Haunted, I got when I was pretty new to death metal, and at that time I didn't mind that album. I thought it had some fun tracks on it for sure, but it's very simple, you know, very basic structures taking place here, and I feel like this is one of those gateway bands into death metal. It's a starting point. You know, you get into this because it's a little bit more digestible, and then of course once you do understand, you know, the harshness of the vocals and the extreme music and trying to hear everything and put it all together, eventually you want more, and you want crazier, more involved, or, you know, just crazier talented bands. There's so many bands out there doing just insane stuff that, I mean, this is very primitive. This is like caveman death metal, and that, which a lot of people like too. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big Slam fan, and I mean, that's a lot of caveman metal right there. It's a lot of just hard-hitting stuff. So, like I said, this isn't really something I'm going to go put on and listen to in my own time, but do I think it's a huge improvement? I actually do. Now, mind you, I didn't listen to their full albums as of recently. I did a couple reactions, and I'm going by those, but I do feel like this is a step up. I feel like this is acceptable and not something to be made fun of, and, you know, maybe actually worthwhile for people who enjoy this to go see. I'm kind of lost for words. Like I said, it is definitely an improvement. Not really my thing totally, because of course I like more involved stuff, and I've just progressed past this style for the most part in my mind, and that because I've been listening to death metal for many years now, like 30 years. So yes, my age is showing. But yeah, so it's an improvement for sure. I'll check out more stuff in the future for sure, especially if you guys watch these videos. I know in the past I've definitely got a few views on these ones, and that's why I was like, hey, let's check this out and see what people are thinking. And, you know, some people want to trash on me for giving Chris Burns a hard time, but again, I'm not really trying to give him a hard time, and really now he's getting a little bit of praise in a sense. This is definitely the most lenient I've been in a long time, because 6 Feet Under's just been like this for me over the years, and that, so I mean, you can only go so far down, and now it feels like we're kind of coming back up. So while the music was decent, I will admit the video was pretty terrible. It's definitely a visualizer and just a few cheesy blood effects and stuff like that. It feels very cheap, but at the same time, it's all about getting your music out there, so, you know, do what you have to do. I don't know what kind of backing this band has. I mean, they're on Metal Blade, and they have been around for a long time, so I'm assuming a few dollars get put into them, but there's a lot of people that do tear on this band, so I really don't know what their genuine popularity is like and what kind of support they have. But either way, if you enjoyed this, go check them out. See what you think. Make your own decisions. Don't go by what I'm saying. This is all personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. So if you do enjoy it, go check them out. They do have quite the extensive catalog. They've been around for a long time. I don't know how many albums, but definitely a lot. And I know they've experimented between the albums. So there might be some good stuff in there. And if you did enjoy this, you'll probably find something else that you do enjoy. And if you do enjoy the band, support them like any band that you enjoy. If you have a moment to help support this channel, then please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Impale that like button. And if you'd like to get some future updates, stab that notification bell down below for that. Also, don't forget about those socials down below. You can follow me on all of the major platforms. Of course, the original link is down there. I also play in some extreme bands as well. There's links down below if you want to take the time to check those out. Maybe you want to laugh at what I do. I'm okay with that. I can take criticism. But first and foremost, if you have a few moments and that's all you can spare, please check out my short film. That would mean the most to me. I would definitely appreciate it. And thank you so much to everyone who has already done that. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of your support. Hope everybody has an awesome day. Cheers, everybody. Stay sick.